We have here today the 6-28381 Santa Fe Legacy GP-30, cab number 2707. Also available is 6-28385 Santa Fe, cab number 1214. We have a 6-28386 Santa Fe conventional GP-30, number 2710, and a 28387 Santa Fe non-powered dummy, number 2715. We also have 6-28388 Illinois Central Golf Legacy GP-30, cab number 2268, 28389 Illinois Central Golf Legacy GP-30, number 2271, a 28394 Illinois Central Golf conventional GP-30, number 2277, 28395 Illinois Central Golf non-powered dummy GP-30, number 2279, 6-34600 Southern Pacific Legacy GP-30, number 5010, 34601 Southern Pacific Legacy GP-30, number 5012, 6-34602 Southern Pacific Conventional GP-30, number 5014, 34603 Southern Pacific non-powered dummy GP-30, number 5017, 34604 Conrail Legacy GP-30, number 2178, 34605 Conrail Legacy GP-30, number 2180, 34606 Conrail Conventional GP-30, number 2182, and finally 34607 Conrail non-powered dummy GP-30, number 2185. Out of the box, you will receive the manual for loading the engine memory module, the instruction manual, smoke fluid pipette, smoke fluid funnel, 4 traction tires, and the engine memory module that is specific to the road name and road number of the locomotive. We also have the locomotive, which features dual vertical can motors, 2 powered trucks, LED lighting front and rear, LED marker lights, lighted number boards, Legacy rail sounds, Odyssey 2 speed control, Legacy control, front and rear coil couplers, folding front and rear MU platforms. The switches for the GP-30 are located underneath the cab on the frame, but we do want to take a second and show you that underneath the radiator fan housing, here on the top of the locomotive, is where the 9-volt battery installs for conventional operation. The connector is in there. Simply connect the battery, put it into the battery holder, make sure that the wires do not interfere with the flywheel, and reinstall the lid on the top of the locomotive. As we mentioned earlier, the 3 switches are located underneath the cab of this locomotive. On this side we have smoke on-off. You've got the SMK position, that is smoke on, and you have the no SMK position, which is smoke off. On the opposite side we have the program run switch. The rearmost position is program, forwardmost position is run. In Legacy or TMCC1, place the switch in program to program the locomotive ID number, and in run to operate the engine. In conventional mode, program is used as the directional lockout switch. So if you wish for the engine to run in only one direction, get the locomotive running in that direction and slide the switch to program, and it will continue to move in that direction only. The run position will allow you to access all 3 directional states. The second switch we have over here is the speed control or Odyssey on-off switch. In the ODY position Odyssey 2 speed control is enabled. In the no ODY position, Odyssey speed control is disabled. Before we get our GP-30 on the track, we need to tell our Legacy Cab 2 everything about this specific locomotive. The cab number on our Santa Fe GP-30 is 2707. So using our numbering convention of the last two digits of the cab number, we're going to make it engine 7. To do this on our cab, before we have anything on the track, we press engine 7. Then we take our orange memory module that came with the locomotive, insert it in the top of our cab with the silver circle L facing up. Press the info key in the upper right hand corner and press the button below load. It tells us our module is inserted. It's a Santa Fe 28381 GP-30 number 2707. Load engine data. Press the button below yes. Tells us the engine data is loaded. We need to remove the module to continue. I want to show you briefly what this has done for us. I'm going to press the scroll button in the upper left hand corner. It's set our type to diesel. Press scroll again. It's set our control to Lionel Legacy. Pressing scroll again tells us our sounds are set to Legacy Rail Sounds. To exit this menu, we press info in the upper right hand corner. You can see the cab number appears momentarily on the screen after you address engine 7. Cab number tells us it's a Santa Fe GP-30. Take a moment here, we'll zoom in and I'll show you what this has done for us. Once we press engine 7, cab number displays momentarily. We press the aux 1 key or the straight arrow button, and the icons on the touchpad are now specific to this GP-30. We have volume up, crew talk, RPMs up, volume down. The black circle is shut down. If you move the red thumb wheel, that changes to a black triangle. When the locomotive is moving, that's emergency stop. Stop the locomotive. Goes back to a black circle. That's shut down. Engine RPMs down. Tower comm. Smoke off. Smoke on. Engine reset. Rule 17 lighting on. And Rule 17 lighting off. When we press the speed bar, we see that we have our 6 preset railroad speeds. Tower comm. Smoke off. Smoke on. The bar graph that represents the labor effects of the sound system. This bar graph is directly proportionate with the FX up and FX down arrows. We press up, you can see that black bar graph raises and it tells us there's a labor increase on the front. We press down, that black box decreases and it tells us labor decrease. And finally, this icon here is number 1 is roll speed. That's the first speed step the locomotive will attain. Okay, let's get our locomotive lubricated and we can get it on the track. To do this, we're going to use our needle oil applicator and we're going to place a small drop of oil right on the axle where it goes through the bearing on the truck block. A small dab is all that's necessary, and you want to do that to both sides of the truck and also to this truck as well. We're also going to take a small dab of oil and place it on the axle of the collector. This will prevent these collectors from squeaking on us when we run down the track. Just a small drop is all that's necessary. Work that oil in with your finger. Okay, we also want to make sure that we don't lubricate these external gears. Putting grease on those gears will simply allow the engine to pick up any type of debris on the track that could potentially clog up our gears and directly affect our operations. These GP-30s are equipped with Lion Drive or twist and lock trucks. The way that works is you hold on to the truck from the bottom, turn it 90 degrees to the left, there's a slight resistance, and lift straight out. And the truck will come completely off the locomotive for servicing. No need to take the engine apart to service it. There is a connector on the back side Actually, there's a screw terminal here that you need to remove the ring terminals from, and the truck will come right off of the frame. Another great feature about these Lion Drive trucks is that all of the screws are accessible from the underside of the locomotive. So we have these two screws here that, when removed, the side frame will come off. These two screws here will take the pilot off, and these two over here will remove this side frame. What's nice about it is when it's time to change the traction tire on your locomotive, there's no real disassembly required. Remove the two screws, take off the side frame, install the traction tire, put the side frame back on, and repeat the process for the opposite side. Makes it really convenient for servicing the locomotive. Before we get our locomotive underway, we want to make sure that we add smoke fluid to the smoke unit itself. To do this, we're going to remove this grill that's on the top of the smoke unit stack. This grill comes off, it's lightly glued on from the factory, and will come off easily. If you try to put smoke fluid through that grate, you're just going to end up with a puddle on the top of your locomotive. Using the pipette that came with the locomotive, we're going to put in roughly 3/4 of the way from the bottom of the pipette to the first line. And put this fluid and the pipette in there. This locomotive actually has a vent, meaning the hole for the smoke unit is not directly underneath the exhaust stack hole. So the fluid goes in, runs down, and then falls into the smoke unit. It is going to be necessary for you to put a couple puffs of air down that stack to clear that meniscus out from the smoke unit itself. We're going to take a second here and do that. So we blew down the stack, cleared the blockage, put the grill back on. Now we need to program the locomotive. To do this, we're going to have to take it off the track, go to the program run switch, place it in the program position, place the engine back on the track, going to apply track power. You'll notice that when we apply track power, the headlight, the marker lights in the rear, the headlight in the rear, the cab light, they're not on. The only thing illuminated are the number boards, front and rear. This is normal operation for this locomotive. So we've already told our cab what engine 7 is and have loaded the module for this locomotive. So we want to take our remote and press engine 7 and the set button. Okay, the locomotive blew the horn, acknowledging that it took the command, and turn the track power off. Remove the locomotive, place it back in the run position, and put it back on the track. Okay. Once again, we've applied power. The only thing illuminated are the number boards, front and rear, headlights, cab light, and marker lights are not illuminated. We're going to press engine 7 on our cab 2, and using the power button in the lower left hand corner of the touchpad, we're going to press and hold it to get the startup dialog. And do that now.
Dispatcher here, do you copy? Over. Roger that. Please start up and stand by for track orders. Copy that, dispatcher. Starting up the engine. Out.
Now that our sounds have started up, you can see that the headlight is on. In the back here where you can't see, the two red marker lights are on, and the engine cab interior light is illuminated. So we're going to go ahead and turn on our smoke unit by pressing the aux 1 or straight arrow key and pressing the smoke on button 3 times to get the smoke high. It's not abnormal for the smoke unit to take a few seconds, sometimes even up to as many as 30 seconds to start generating smoke. You'll notice the smoke volume coming out now. Once I turn the throttle and get the engine running, that smoke volume will increase. Give you a shot of the horn. The bell. Crew talk.
fuel. Engine is at restricted speed. Out.
Tower comm.
Dispatcher here. All clear inbound. Over. Green signals. Name dispatcher. Out.
These GP-30 locomotives have 8 notches of RPMs as per the prototype. You can control those RPMs manually through the touchpad. In the beginning of the video, we showed you that the square triangle, the black triangle in the middle of the touchpad was an emergency stop. I'm going to go ahead and hit that now so you can hear that dialogue.
This is the dispatcher. The emergency stop. Emergency stop acknowledged.
So it's up to you as the operator to turn the throttle down or hit the brake button to stop the train. We'll do that now.
We stopped. Everything's okay. Over. Good work. Out.
Okay, when the engine is stopped, that black triangle changes to a black circle. The black circle is actually engine shutdown, which we'll do now.
See you next trip. Signing off. Out.
And to get the locomotive started again, you simply press engine 7 and the power button in the lower left-hand corner. Engine powers right up again. Okay, we changed direction on this locomotive. The front headlight goes out and the front marker lights come on and the rear headlight comes on. Change direction again. Rear headlight goes out, front headlight comes on, rear markers illuminate, front markers turn off. This locomotive has 2 coil couplers, front and rear. We're going to press the F coupler button on the remote. As you can see, the front coil coupler opens, the same when you press R on the remote for the rear coupler. These GP-30s are equipped with something called sequence mode. All sequence mode is a set of pre-recorded activities that play through the sound system based solely on throttle commands. So you can get this engine out on the main line in sequence mode, get it running, and it will automatically play all the sounds for you. To access sequence mode, you simply press and hold the aux1 or the straight arrow key for 3 seconds. The locomotive will confirm it's entered sequence mode with 2 bells and a short horn blast. Press aux1 now. That signifies we're in sequence mode. Now what happens is when we go to the very first speed step, locomotive will spool up. Blow the horn for us.
We got your signal. Clear to move. Over.
Plays the tower comm and the crew talk sequence, although it's not moving. We go to speed step 2, the locomotive will begin rolling, at which point the bell turns on and will stay on until you pass speed step 23.
Roger that. Have a good run. Out.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn the throttle up so we can get beyond speed step 23. Just went to speed step 25, the bell turned off. I press the speed bar on my remote and go to one of my preset railroad speeds. If I press and hold it, it'll give me a sound dialogue to go with it.
Dispatcher here. Please go to medium speed. Over. Copy that. Increasing to medium speed. Out.
When I let off the button, it'll go to medium speed, blows the horn for me. Everything with the sound system is completely automatic in sequence mode. I still have manual control over everything. If I want to blow the horn, I can. But the sound system will do everything for me automatically. So now we're going to go to restricted speed and show you what it does.
Dispatcher here. Please go to restricted speed. Over. Roger that. Slowing to restricted speed. Out.
So that entire sound sequence was completely automatic. So I'm going to go ahead and slow the engine down, get below speed step 23. You can see what happened there with the smoke unit. Right now I have a meniscus blocking that stack. So I'm going to go ahead and blow a puff of air down that stack to get my smoke back. Just like that. Okay, to exit sequence mode, I'm going to press the aux 1 or straight arrow button and the engine reset on my touchpad. Short horn blast tells me that I've exited sequence mode. We can add fuel to this locomotive by pressing and holding the reset key down. Releasing the key will play a short dialogue for us.
Dispatcher, we've got a full tank. Over. Copy that. Out.
Okay, these are the GP-30s, and like I said, they are at your dealer now.